Good morning to everyone.
In this big exercise which you have undertaken to create a new tourism policy for the country.
हमारे देश में तो इतनी वैरायटी है, इतनी चीज़ें हैं कि कुछ भी कोस्टल, चाहे 7500 किलोमीटर की कोस्टल बेल्ट भी है, हिमालय भी है, हमारे पास गंगा भी है, डेजर्ट भी है, वाइल्ड लाइफ भी है, सब कुछ है। लेकिन फिर भी आज हम उस वर्ल्ड का टूरिज्म शेयर नहीं ले पा रहे हैं। आज हाई टाइम आ गया है। अब मेरे ख्याल से प्लेटफॉर्म भी तैयार है। आपके देश की सरकार, आपके देश का प्राइम मिनिस्टर, ही मीन्स टूरिज्म a lot.
I think there should be a one-point program, develop infrastructure, and you will get to infrastructure means roads, means the rural level, waste management, cleanliness, means training programs, means homestays, it means drinking water, better safe drinking water, and then only can you produce results.
The first ever mobile audio guide of the country, perhaps in the world. I have not seen it anywhere else. It's a totally free service which is available on your mobile. You can go to any monument in that city and get the full detailed description of that monument on your own cell.
There's a case of a fort which a consultant was told to write a report, and they've taken the top of the hill and said the heritage hotel should be made here. There's no water source over there. So that's of course the private person's problem. The man who's going to do it, can you run a heritage hotel without water? Then they say, आप नीचे ज़मीन खरीद लीजिए, फिर वहाँ से आप पानी बना. Then you buy the land there, and between the land that you have bought and the fort that you've got is forest land, and forest will say, we will not even let a pipe pass.
The old saying is that strike when the iron is hot or red, whatever you call it. I believe that in Indian conditions, you have to strike hammer again and again to make this iron hot and red. You have to strike consistently and persistently. It will happen. सरकार में जब आप तोप मांगते हो तो तमंचा मिलता है. We know it. Having been inside the system, we also know it. अगर आप बहुत बड़ी तोप मांगोगे, जय बाण, तब आपको रिवॉल्वर देंगे.
Promotion of our culinary heritage and food tourism in India. Our marketing is more concentrated on our heritage, which is no doubt our strength, but we also need to project our other USP, which is our food.
If you're going to do electronic visa for 140, 150 countries, so you have unleashed a very major barrier. The second key thing I think India must do is to keep opening up its skies, keep opening consistently, year after year, year after year, year after year. And unless India doesn't open up its skies with vigor, with energy, with dynamism, it will be very difficult for India to succeed in the world of tourism.
Our seminar, it many times ends up being in the shadow of terrorism.
It should not be a deterrent. Actually, it should kind of gear us up more that this is one of the impediments which we have to encounter. And I hope it gets resolved, but be that as it may, as we work to promote this industry in the country.
By about 94-95, we were only receiving about 2 million plus tourists. If you take a quick fast forward, then in 2000 we had 2.65. One step further, in 10, 5.80, and 2014 is 7.5. And as I hear that you've set a target of 10 million tourists by 2018.
I had made two suggestions that it should be a periodic revisit, something like a 5-year plan, because the scenario keeps changing and I think you need to look at new things. And second, an action plan cannot be static. It should be at least an annual exercise, and it can match very well because there's an annual budget that the tourism ministry works with.
While the draft national policy, tourism policy, mentions the carrying capacity in the context of the wildlife and ecotourism, it does not mention it in the context of the 18 other tourism products which you intend developing and marketing.
Please go ahead, make as many tourism products as possible, reuse them, use them, replace them. But please do not destroy the tourism heritage tourism assets.
Medicine, which are Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, Sovarikpa, has good potential to attract tourists into India, both from perspective of heritage and from perspective of medical tourism.
That school is the place where we have to teach these values, how to have cleanliness and Swachh situation. And our approach is from children to children and from children to family and from family to community. So we have about 167 eco clubs or sanitation clubs around the country.
Create special tourism zone. This is my suggestion, that we should create special tourism. A tourism zone is defined as a tract of land with defined boundaries for developing an integrated tourism complex.
Because world over there are incentives for shootings in a state, in a region, in a country. There are film commission boards, there are single window clearances, and many such things that can make your shooting very friendly.
Roads, as you know, are literally like the arteries of a nation. For a country like India, I think it's even more critical. अगर किसी country को देखना है, countryside को देखना है, तो road से चलो.
When we look at the roads, when we look at highways, when we look at airports, when we look at rail, when we look at ports, we have a transportation infrastructure deficit which is very, very significant. Whilst we are trying to bridge that infrastructure deficit, the growth is significant.
We are connecting the Char Dham, we are connecting Jammu to Kashmir to Leh via tunnels in Zojila and Jedmore. So these are the destination connectivity. We are connecting the desert of Rajasthan, we are connecting the South Indian ports.
The expeditious development of smaller regional airports and airstrips with minimal expense on other no-frill terminals at lower cost will definitely enhance the domestic connectivity.
Where we stand today, we are largely a domestic market country. We have very, very large domestic market, and a smaller portion of our air travel comes in from international tourism, international market.
Together, along with the National Promotion Bureau and the State Destination Bureau, they need to go and pitch for some of the best and biggest conventions that happen anywhere in the world over.
90% of all meetings in the world are less than 1,000 people. I don't think that we have any major city in this country who does not have the ability to handle an event of 1,000 people or less. Because a lot of the times I just hear, we don't have convention centers, therefore we can't do meetings. So that's true.
People continue to set sail. This is the CLIA, which is the Cruise Lines Association figures. From 2009, from 17.8 million, we've gone up to 23 million, and will continue to grow as capacity keeps getting deployed. More and more capacity is coming into this, coming in with the new builds that cruise lines are now making investments in.
The fact that our central guidelines of tour operators and the state guidelines of the tour operators are vastly different.
Tourism is not the responsibility of the government alone. I think as all stakeholders, we got to continuously keep working on newer products, newer ways of marketing. The past is our future.
Indian cuisine and Indian spices were known across the world, and I think it shaped Indian history and world history as a result.
Do we really need more products, more tourism products? Have we maximized or done enough to promote what we have with us today?
The whole gamut of heritage, India is mainly about heritage tourism. And as we all know, and somebody even said, I think Ms. Mishra said in the early morning hours, in order to get our tourism, tourism perspective streamlined, you will notice that everybody is fighting at loggerheads.
I think the prime responsibility of the industry itself is safety, our safety concern for our customers. I think when you get onto the smaller cities, in order to train them to think like global organization, I think there's a lot, we are far away.
I think from a tourism point of view, we have this opportunity to really go from 7.5 to, I don't know, 50, 100 million tourists over the next 10, 20 years. And I see this as a long, and of course lots has to be done, and many people have pointed out things to be done in that area.
We have a tourism ministry, which respectfully so is but an extension that is dependent on all other ministries for various approvals.
So that's what Indian Tourism 2.0 is all about.